So starting a side hustle can take a long time if you don't know what you're doing. That's what we're covering in today's video, your 30-day plan to get started. Hey, I'm Elise Cartwright. Welcome to that Hustle and Grow channel, where we talk about all things side hustle, email marketing, and productivity strategies, systems, automations, all the things. In today's video, I wanted to walk you through what it really looks like to start a side hustle in the next 30 days. So this is going to be broken down into a plan for you. Now you can grab that in the link below, where you can download a plan that is mapping out exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it over the next 30 days. I'm going to quickly go over the highlights of what you can expect to be doing, and then you can just jump in and get started. So in week 1, you are going to focus on a really important thing, which is figuring out what your side hustle is going to look like. Now, if you don't know what your side hustle is, then you can check out the other videos that talk about how to choose your actual side hustle. But just choose something. This doesn't need to be your lifelong passion. If you are looking to create a side income, then just get started with the thing that is the most easiest for you to get up and running right now. And then the other thing that you're going to be doing in week 1 is creating your online profiles. Now, these do not need to be elaborate. You don't need to create a website right now, but it's more about figuring out where you think your potential clients are going to be hanging out. So for example, if you are a freelance graphic designer, then you should absolutely have a Pinterest account or an Instagram account and set up your profiles there and start displaying your images. And if you're a freelance writer, then you should probably start a blog and start writing and sharing content. So it's about figuring out where your potential clients might be hanging out, creating your profiles based around where they are going to see it, because that's exactly what you want to do. You want to make sure that your clients are going to be seeing what you're doing. So that is essentially what you're going to be doing in week 1. There's a few more things, but those are the 2 main highlights. So what's happening in week 2? Week 2 is an extension of your profile. So now we are creating a portfolio. Now clearly I'm talking about an online side hustle. So if you're thinking about doing anything outside of that, then you'd need to think a little bit differently about what this looks like. So you probably wouldn't necessarily create a portfolio. You might choose to create a website that has all the information about what it is that you do, with some images of you doing that thing. But if you're doing an online type of side hustle, then you definitely want to go ahead and create some type of portfolio, some examples of your work so that people can connect with you and see what you're doing. Now, if you're just getting started, then this might be a little bit tricky. So one tip that I can give you is to just create the content. Now, if you're someone who is a website designer, go ahead and mock up a website, create or recreate a website that you have seen that you think you could do better, and mock that up. Similarly, if you're going to be doing writing, write some stuff, write some blog posts, write some mini articles, whatever it is that you are trying to do as your side hustle, create a portfolio so that you're ready to connect with your clients and show them exactly what you can do. So that is a little bit of what you're going to be doing in week 2. Now, week 3, we start to get a little bit clearer on what it looks like to work with clients. So the first thing that I would recommend that you do is reach out to your network. Let them know that you're open for business. Now, I know that this might feel a little bit icky, or you might not want anyone to know what you're doing. Completely understand. So just think about going back to your online profiles. If you've created an online profile on Pinterest, or if you've created something on Instagram, or maybe you've done it on LinkedIn, then perhaps it might make sense to start figuring out where your clients are hanging out. So what groups are they participating in? Can you go and join those? If you're not going to tap your network, then you need to figure out where your clients are potentially hanging out and start communicating with them there. So that is week 3. Week 4, you need to figure out how you're going to fit this all into your busy schedule, because we are all busy. So this kind of looks like figuring out where you have free time and where you want to dedicate that to your side hustle. Because the reality is, if you are going to want to make money from what you're doing, then you need to be intentional about how that's going to look. So if you've got a full-time job, it's about figuring out where you fit this in. Are you going to get up a couple of hours earlier before you start work? Are you going to be able to squeeze in 30 minutes out of your 1-hour lunch break? Figure out what that looks like now before you start taking on clients, so that you don't drop the ball when it comes to your schedule. And then the other thing that you're going to do in week 4 is find your first client. You are going to either have tapped into your network and they've sent you some people, or you're starting to apply for gigs on Upwork, freelance, wherever it is that you're thinking about connecting with your clients. Your goal in the last week is to find that first client, just one. I'm not saying that you need to be replacing your income right now. Your goal is just to find someone who will pay you for what it is that you're offering. So that is a quick rundown on what the next 30 days is going to look like as you start your side hustle. Okay, so if you want to implement everything that I've just given you here, make sure that you download the 30-day plan, and your immediate action step is this. Figure out what side hustle you're going to do. That's the first thing that you need to do, and is your immediate action step. Go ahead and get started, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.